Come on. Good, there you go. Oh boy. Get this out. Perfect. Okay, looks like everything's okay. Refresh. This is trying to get controller remote so I can view the stream. Okay, things going. Yeah, if you hear me hit my desk, it's because my computer's a piece of shit. It doesn't load very fast, especially when I'm streaming, so. Un momento, por favor. Alright. Well, I have to start this off with a couple of updates. First, I got a new camera. That's about all there is to say about that. Why am I doing... Second update. Why am I doing this video again? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm assuming most, starting content creators will think of, what makes this video successful, and how do I put that same energy into my other videos? Well, I noticed that my original Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls video did moderately well. It got a lot of views, relative to my status in the YouTube hierarchy. But I'm like, why would it do such a thing? Or how is it doing that? So I look at the video and I see that, the video, the audio is not what I have. It captured the audio of what I was listening to. The critically acclaimed Goosebuds podcast. And I'm like, oh no. So I quickly looked to see what other videos have that. And of course, thankfully, it was only one other video. So I have them privatized. So I am going to re-record, or rather re-stream, the Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls video. However, the Horrors of the Black Ring, I'm going to rewrite for the future. And I'm going to, in place of that coming soon, I'm going to have another one I wrote more for jokes. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's get to what I wrote. Now, the book Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls was from the Goosebumps Series 2000, and I want to make mention, spoiler alert, I'm trying to remember that a lot more now, just because I know some people are like, I haven't read the book yet. I'm like, yeah, cool, but I gotta make videos. Alright, so this follows the story of a boy named Spencer Casimir. His frame might suggest a weak person, but he's usually pretty courageous. In some aspects of the book, there's some bits where I'm like, bruh. So, a local bully named Frank, scoffs at his paper, because the whole thing starts as he's narrating a paper he wrote for school about the Highgrave Cemetery, which gives the town its name of Highgrave, which I thought was a pretty cool name for a town. Sorry for my Halloweenism, but anyways. And as he scoffs, the teacher gets the idea for the class to take a trip to Highgrave Cemetery to rub graves. Oh boy. Now I'm just saying, that personally to me sounds like a particular website. Or, let's not continue with this line of joke, because I feel like YouTube would get mad at me. In any case, while he is at the cemetery, he happened to take his brother's backpack, which, not good, because, his brother ends up, wanting the backpack later, and you'll see why he doesn't get it. Now, when he goes, as he's at the graveyard with the grave robbing, and it's kind of out of order, he knocks over someone's gravestone, one Oswald Maines. Now, there is another brother on the Maines tombstone, when, I think I can't remember his name. To me, he seemed more like an afterthought, just because of what purpose he serves. And he knocks over the grave, and quickly, and because of his scare, which actually, a hand literally goes up and grabs him, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's definitively supernatural. It's not like, he says, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was just a ruse. You never get that, oh, it was just a ruse that you might get in Goosebumps books. So I thought that was pretty neat. In any case, he forgets the backpack and runs down to his house. And when he's trying to do a paper that night, he finds that his brother is whining and ranting and raving about his missing backpack. And his brother, Spencer, says, "I'll get it for you," even though it's probably close to 10, maybe. I don't know what constitutes bedtime for middle schoolers in 1995, but over here in my time, usually it's around 11 p.m., so yay, insomnia. But in any case, so he calls up his friend, I think Audra, and Audra goes with him to the cemetery at night to retrieve the backpack. Now, at some point, he hears help, as he's, looking for the backpack. You remember that cry for help. It's important. And finds that finds that his friend's all away from him, the Audra, that is, and that he sees other people coming towards him. That is Frank, the guy who's scoffing at him. He real quick gets very Kingian as a bully. In which case, he ties Spencer to a tree and leaves him there. Sorry for that. Jesus, I just had Taco Bell, so, so yeah. So Oswald. Sorry, very sorry. Thank you. So yeah, Frank and two other buddies tie him to a tree and basically leave him there. Now, granted, it's not too keen. We all have seen Henry Bowers, especially with the recent It movies. But even the graphicness of something like this in Goosebumps book, it's like, oh boy, that could have gone so bad so quick. In any case, I say that way too much. I probably should. We find that as Audra goes to run for help, which, I don't really know why she did that. She could have just just untied him. It would probably solve a lot of problems, but she doesn't. She goes away, leaving him in the graveyard alone, and he just suffers as he hears strange noises and eerie fog roll in. Stupid. And he sees a ghost of Oswald Maines. And then I like the description of this. He feels something pressing itself into his head, and finds that now he's been disembodied. I always thought that was kind of a cool, description mechanic for the act of possession. So, I'm pretty fun. I like certain little knickknacks and descriptions. It makes it a little highlighty for me. And he, now argues with Oswald, who I think it's Oswald Maines. He says, "Hey, I want my body back. What the fuck, mate?" And Oswald says, "Piss off," basically. As, Audra comes back with both their parents, saying, "We're gonna have a talking to that young boy's parents," which I think you really need to do a little more than that. I'm not quite versed on statutes, you know, but that could have been manslaughter, depending on what happened to him. It's not. It's a little more serious than talking to his parents. I'm just gonna say that. At least it seems to me. Alright. So, yeah. So he goes back to as the parents untie the person in his body, Oswald Baines. He sees him carry around as he is left at the mercy of the wind in the graveyard, having no body to move around in and no voice to speak. That's when a bunch of spooky, scary ghouls come out of the graves and start dancing all around, saying it's hopeless to, leave. So he decides to possess a rat. And this kicks off what I consider a very morally questionable part of the story. Because he uses the rat body, and he just eats stuff in the rat, like a worm and trash. But, like, what happened to the rat's soul? What happened there? Yeah, and then he finally makes it to his house. And this is where he eats some trash, and the trash man. I'll start throwing garbage. And I'll start eating garbage. Sorry. It wasn't in the original recording. I just thought that'd be funny. Yeah, he sees a bunch of eyes in the darkness, and he has a bit of a tussle with rats, which kind of struck me as funny because I always had this picture of my head of, now that I've seen JoJo's, of this big order fight, between him and the rats, and I don't have the skills to make stuff like that. But he escapes the rat trash bin, and makes it in. Starts tussling with his cat because his cat thinks he's just, of course, a rat, and he wants to kill. His cat's kill. Hashtag no more cat kills. But anyway, the cat, he literally presses his own consciousness into the cat, and I'm thinking, did he just kill the cat? Because when he looks back at the rat body, he sees it's dead now. So I'm like, did he just kill his own cat, dude? What the hell? And then he uses the cat body to spy and talk to Oswald Baines, and Oswald says he's going to go on a path of destruction. You can't stop me. No one can stop me. I'm going to tear hell in this body. And as he surveys the damage of his own room, which is torn the fuck apart. Sorry. He kind of believes he's going to do exactly that. So he tries to wake up his parents. They don't. They just take him out. And then Oswald basically attempts to just kill the fucking cat. Well, Spencer, but yes, the cat. And Spencer has to get into the body of a spider in his basement to escape. With that knowledge, again, maybe now the cat's dead, and obviously the spider too. He then uses the spider to get to the body of his brother, the one who was complaining about the backpack, Jason. Which, given the recent trend of question raising, is he technically killing these animals? Well, technically his brother doesn't get killed because at some point they start to fight for the body. But it always makes you wonder, did he actually just kill those animals? I don't know, mate. But, he uses his brother Jason's body. Now at this point it's kind of dawn. It's gone from middle of the night to dawn. At least pretty close to it. And as Oswald kind of pursues up another body, a stronger body, that of the bully Frank, which I'm almost surprised he didn't possess it already, but okay. Spencer goes to find Audra. Now Audra is sleeping, and she kind of ignores Jason, not really asking any questions like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're Spencer? What are you talking about, you dumb kid? What she really there's been this whole telltale sign the whole time that anyone who's been possessed by the ghouls has very sullen, vacant eyes, and he sees the same eyes in Audra, which it turns out he's possessed. she's possessed by the other main kid. I think his name's Martin. I can't remember though. Martin Main's alliteration. In any case, now we get to the climax scene where Audra's ghouly ghost spirit possesses that of a dog. And this is some metal ass shit, I'm not gonna lie. Spencer, following the trail of destruction, I think he gets to his house. Sometimes I kind of check out at the end of the books because it might be late at night. But Spencer and Audra start fighting in front of his parents. Fighting the bodies of Spencer and Audra, Oswald and Martin. You know what I mean. I'm sorry, I don't want to get convoluted with my sentencing. But in any case, they start, and Audra in the dog body bites Martin's leg. I thought it was so metal. Like, bruh, just chomp. Nah, like, imagine that. Like, you're imagine the kind of psychological thing that was like, she now knows what it is to bite as an animal into a human leg. That's fucking insane. Like, Jesus Christ. But in any case, during the struggle, Spencer figures out that the only way to defeat the ghouls is to book it down. And he starts, like, I don't know, DDR battling the ghost, and finds that he defeated it with the power of sick dance moves. Which, yeah, kind of an R.L. Stine ending, not gonna lie. But the darkest part of this ending is that with the ghosts extinguished, they are now free to resume to get to their bodies. So they quickly make their way to their bodies. And Spencer opens up his eyes and finds that he is in Audra's body. And that Audra is in his body. And he says, well, what are we going to do now? And when the first time I read this book, I've read it twice now, I thought, hey, Spencer, I think you have other problems than dealing with whose body you're in. Maybe you figure that shit out. Because you have more accounts of destruction of property than I can count on one of my hands. And definitely some possible assault. There's at least one part where the cops were pointing their guns at him. It's like, maybe you got more to worry about then. But now I'm kind of tainted by Stephen King books to the point where I kind of like darker endings, even though this one off-put me at the first time I read it. But I really kind of like this one. It's it's kind of long, maybe not the biggest Goosebumps book, so I thought it was okay. I like the ending. I like some of the descriptive uses in it, and I love the cover art, like the Tim Jacobus cover art for the Goosebumps Series 2000 book. The Tim Jacobus one is on the picture in my background is the one with obviously Series 2000 on it. That's the older one. For those books, he actually chose a darker color palette so that it would look more grim and dark. And I really like that. The one thing I do like about the Brandon Dorman cover on the left is that it has the rats. And that's something that's not really put, at least I don't think is covered on the Tim Jacobus artwork. I think it's pretty rad. I guess. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, why don't you leave a like. If you want to see more of it, just let me know down in the comments. I always am eager to receive comments, Alright. Look forward to one later today, in which I will cover another Goosebumps book. Alright? Have a good day.